People say I ain't no good, and I'm crazy as a loon. Cause I shave my head in the morning, pick guitar in the afternoon. Just like old Chief and Charlie, I like to lay around in the shade. Well, I ain't got no money, but you better believe I got it made. Cause I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, just leave this bald-headed country boy alone.
Y'all are done bitching about it getting cold here. Now we're going to start the podcast. Hi, everybody. We're in Nashville still, and we are a little hungover, and some of us aren't hungover anymore. We're going to have a little bit of fun today, but everybody's literally bitching because I have it at 65 in here. If y'all would have helped me put this shit together yesterday, y'all would have known. It was sweating. I was sweating bullets.
I don't want this to come the wrong way, but I feel confident I could have set this up without breaking a sweat.
Fuck you, Cameron.
Wow. After the races.
I couldn't have. So
Yeah.
I'm back. We're back to square one.
Thank you. Now, if Cameron's done shit talking about my fat ass, I'm going to introduce everybody. Cameron Havens, Brian Martin, next to me, Miss Missy. Thank you for coming all the way from Texas, by the way, hanging out with us for a couple days.
Texas.
Thank you for letting me.
Yeah. Miss Ben Roberts.
Hey.
And on the side of him, a piece of shit, David McMahon. And then we decided to let Chili Dog come back too.
For some damn reason.
You look thrilled.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know how good of a dancer Chili Dog was?
I had guessed.
I am saying, Chili Dog, those are some hip movements over there.
That was some Patrick Swayze shit.
I'm saying, I didn't know you had it in you.
Me neither.
I was so
How you feeling
fucking
now?
Trying
surprised.
to get me drunk.
We went to Chiefs last night, Eric Church's new bar.
Y'all missed the chair throwing?
We missed it by a day.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that place is cool as hell.
Really?
Yes, like the you ever been to Floribama and played there to where like they've got like the listening room or whatever, the one where Dean Dillon's got the plaque or the picture on the wall or whatever? No. Okay.
I've never been there.
It's really cool.
It's awesome.
But like where they do like their riders, like the acoustic artists, they've got them sitting in the middle of the floor. It's an elevated stage, just a couple inches off the floor, like 5 inches. It's got a piano sitting on it and then just one bar stool. But it's in the center of the room. Oh, dude, it's cool. And then the whole thing looks like a 1970s honky tonk.
Really?
Oh yeah. The when you walk in the bottom, everything on the wall is like, it almost looks like Eric Church album covers covering every single inch of the floor, the walls, everywhere, and it's got a gloss over it. But then they've got like this badass vintage stained glass that goes around the whole bar, and it just says Chiefs. It looks like 70s church style paint or like stained glass. Woo!
How many albums did Eric have?
It ain't enough to fucking
Enough to cover a building, apparently.
And
It's super sexy, though. It's awesome.
it's cool. And then what's really cool, I guess Cotton Eye Joe. I never went when it was Cotton Eye Joe's there, but like they kept like this big neon sign from Cotton Eye Joe's and put it on the main stage in the bottom. It's dude, I'm telling you, like it is nasty
And
cool.
it's 6 stories.
Yeah, one of the guys, a manager there, came up when we got there yesterday, and he had been to one of our shows at Live Oak, and he was introducing himself, and he was kind of showing us a little bit and telling me about it. There's like 2 stories that they haven't opened yet because they don't know what they're going to do. It's supposed to be like members only in like those 2 areas, but I think what he said is like they kind of been like,
Masquerade.
like we're going to cut out a lot of people and like kill ourselves right here if we don't open it up to everybody. But yeah, 6 freaking stories.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's cool.
It's a long way for a chair to fall.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how tall it
dude.
was until I
And
went
can
up
you
there.
speak to the-
Like, he could have actually killed somebody.
Yeah, and like, can you speak to the texture of the chair? Are they like pool toy
they,
chairs? Or are
they
they
showed
very hard?
pictures
hard?
of it. It was
The chair didn't
metal.
break.
I saw a
It was
TikTok
metal,
of
and
the
it didn't
cop
break.
dragging the chair back in.
Yeah,
I bet
yeah.
that thing was back in use like the next day.
I know, it didn't
I
even
I saw
break.
the cop
That's
bringing the
crazy.
damn thing back in. Like,
Talk about-
video
It
looks
of him
fine.
coming in.
You know, talk about overhead. You know,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Really, I don't know. That was
Yeah.
pretty high.
But like everybody that I've seen like giving him shit, I always I try to remember this with like everybody that's younger than me. I've done some stupid shit, and having that amount of success, hell, Brian, you probably know this better than everybody. Having that kind of success that young, and the money thrown at you, and the women and everything else, you're gonna lose your shit sometimes. You can't help but do it.
Yeah, I mean, we've had
Boy,
some
but
nights.
could he do it in an area with less cameras? You know what I mean?
Probably
Like,
not. He always has
every-
cameras
there's a camera
everywhere. He's
everywhere
Morgan
nowadays.
Wallen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't get away from that.
Like I think it was like 2 years ago that we saw him at Red Door. Like it was after the CMA Awards or some shit one night, and like where Red Door used to be, like you could it was kind of blocked off a little bit, like the back part of it, the back corner or whatever. And we were in there and we were having a good time and drinking, and he comes in, but he's with like 10 people in suits and all kind of shit. Like he didn't look professional. He looked like he wanted to have a good time. They looked like he was a walking ATM, and they were just there to make sure he didn't do anything stupid. He looked fucking miserable the whole time. And like I imagine the other night at Chiefs, he didn't have those folks around. Some of us need that though. Like I know if you gave me that much money and that much success, I'd have to have a team of people around me.
I
Not start to finish of every minute of my day, or I'm throwing more than chairs off the top of that motherfucker in a heartbeat.
I mean, you think about that. He had 10 people making sure he didn't mess it up, but I imagine that was for the label's sake, not for his sake.
Oh yeah, dude.
You think I could speak to the fact that he probably ain't as rich as you think he is.
Oh, well, he's doing better than me. So, like, and you're right. And I've seen this more with you guys, and the more that like. I always say if an artist does anything with us, whether it's a country artist or if it's just an internet personality, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is like I'm artist friendly. I want the best for you because it's you. But I've seen these labels and shit now. It's like they're not doing what's best for you. They're doing what's best for them because you are their walking ATM. And like if you don't take care of that, like but I think they overdo it. Like it's got to make some people's life miserable the way they get treated.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think that the biggest thing is like having somebody watching your every move. Like still to this day, I mean, you know as well as I do, when we go out to town, I can't go to town without having 10 people that work in the industry, you know, swarming me nowadays. So it's like nowadays it's all talking about, oh man, we need to do this, you need to make a move here, you need to make a move there. And there's only a few people that I trust to begin with.
Yeah.
Now I'm out here trying to listen to people tell me, you shouldn't trust him, you should trust me. You know, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. I am, I've thought about it time and time again since the last time you were here. Like, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a management company, and I'm going to stay the hell away from it. I'm going to get somebody who's really good at handling other people's money because I'm not. I would fuck up in a heartbeat. And I know that about myself, so I'm not going to put myself in that position. But I was like, I could find somebody that I really trusted that would run it the right way and help some of y'all out, because it's really like you and Ben, I know he's got your best interest.
Yeah.
There's no way that he doesn't. But there's a lot of people that I've seen that just like feel even with me in the podcast, there's people that reach out to me all the time. It's like, hey, I can do this, this, and this for you, and you're going to be so much more successful. You just got to give me 30%. And
You
I'll
can
make
smell the angle
sure.
coming.
Yeah, and it's just like, you're not looking out for me.
No.
Yeah, and I don't know how y'all deal with it, to be honest with you. It would drive me nuts.
the industry standard, 30%.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll give them 30% to kiss my fat ass. That's what I'll do. Yeah, absolutely. This is also
it
probably why
don't
I'll
take
never be
long to
super
run. It
successful.
don't take long to run out of 100%. I'll tell you that.
Oh, fuck no, not when everybody's taking a piece.
It don't take long.
Oh, but anyway, enough bitching about that. I need to tell you how fucking proud I am of you.
Well, thank you, man.
I love you so damn much, and you mean the damn world to me. But the fact that from the last time I saw you to now, how many days sober are you now?
I think I'm on 67. Right at, or 65.
65.
65.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
I'm
That's
so proud
awesome.
of you.
Congrats. Good job, man.
Yeah, like it's. Whew,
24 hours.
I'm
at a
gonna
time.
get teary eyed just thinking about it.
Oh no, man. We had a rough last night or two.
Hey, look, I'm going to tell you.
Chili Dog was telling me about how bad he had it last night. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
You don't know, Chili.
you have no idea, bro.
I don't know though, because like with you, those last nights, I guess it was January? It was January, February, right?
It was January. February, I went in the rehab.
Yeah. I remember sitting there, and it was me, you, and Will,
Yep.
and you got to this point where you're.
Hey, I got our song cut, though.
What?
That one that we wrote.
No
It
shit.
got cut by Adam Calhoun.
By who?
Adam Calhoun.
Adam Calhoun.
Adam,
Oh yeah. He's cutting one. He's cutting that song.
that one, yeah. The one about best thing you ever done.
Right was do me wrong.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep.
I got my name on there somewhere.
Yeah, you do.
Oh shit.
Songwriter found him.
You better get that BMI set up.
Got
Yeah,
more
they
cuts than me already. Didn't even mean to.
Well, we
Hey
sat-
Josh, if you need a manager, I got you.
30%.
Yeah.
30%.
You better drop that shit a little bit. I'll do it myself.
I'll be the assistant man.
There you go.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get my
fucking
publishing
asshole.
Be your drunk friend.
That's
I'm
all
learning
you
the
need to
system.
be chilly.
I'm learning the system. I got you a cut, but I'm gonna need to take half that pub. Okay?
That's fine. That sounds about right already. Sounds like the industry standard already. Just-
That's a good deal. The industry
I would never do
standard is
you
all of it.
no worse than they do me. Okay.
we're both fucked in.
That's my promise. That's my
Yeah,
guarantee.
damn. Shit. But when we were all together that last trip, I got to where me and Will were looking at you, and it's with you. You were still so creative, and you were just like in this zone when we were writing and everything. Like you already talking fucking lyrics, so
Yeah.
Like you're one of the few people I've been around that everything that comes out of your mouth is like, that's a hook, that's a song idea. Like it's already stupid, but like I kind of got a little worried about you.
I know.
You kind of went off the rails a little bit, but I was right there with you. I was holding you tight.
I know.
I wasn't gonna let you go nowhere.
I
But
think I almost overdosed on low blood pressure medicine.
yeah.
Yeah. I thought I was taking my Adderall and I was taking high blood pressure medicine.
It scared the fuck out of me. I'm just letting you
I
know.
went from high blood pressure to no blood pressure, bro.
Jesus Christ. Just so bad. But
From low to no.
It made me so happy though, like that next week or in the next 2 weeks when you let me know that you were going. I don't know if I told you this, but like, this is what was crazy. I of course I've listened to your songs and everything, but I had never heard We Ride on radio.
Yeah.
Like just regular on damn radio. And that morning that I called you, and I guess you were getting on a plane to go to, what was it, Utah?
Yeah, Utah.
Yeah. I had heard We Ride, and I was like, I'm calling Brian to check on him. And when I called you, out of nowhere, you're like, yeah, man, I'm getting on, and you told me what you was going to do. I was like, well, I remember crying. Yeah, I did. Like, I was passing wherever the Titans play, wherever the fuck the name of that stadium is. Yeah, I was literally, when we hung up the phone, like, I said a little prayer for you and was crying. So I was like, I'm so proud of him.
Thank you, man.
A lot of people just don't. Like, a lot of people don't, they don't want to do it.
No.
Like, they're like, oh, I can handle it. Like, I know that if I ever get off the rails, I'm not going to be able to reel myself back in. It's going to take something else to help me come back in.
I was at that point. I thought it's getting bad, like a year ago. So I was like, and then so by the time I went, I was like, I was borderline insane.
Yeah.
Man. It's just because the fast pace of everything. Like, man, everything just started coming at me at one time, and then literally, they're like, we got this person for you to do this, and we got this person to do that, but they never realized that you got all these different people, but they can't do anything without coming straight to me to do it. So it's like I'm still having to do everything. So I was wore out. I was tired, and I was up against the wall, man, and I just didn't know what to do. So like my only way to let loose was to just run, run away, and go off and get in a bottle, and then talk to my friends about how bad I had it, and wake up the next morning and go, well, enough bitching, now I gotta go back to work, you know. So it was like, and you know, that's the thing that I listened to, you know, even Morgan's song, you know, that Living the Dream.
Oh,
that
yeah,
one,
dude.
that one song hit me so hard, because it's like, you know, I'm sitting here sipping and bitching about a place people would die to be, you know, but it's not as easy as it seems, you know. And it hit me hard, because I was like, that's the truest lyrics I've heard in a long time, because it was like it's hard to bitch about being successful and being at the top of your game and on top of the world when people are like, man, I don't want to hear that from you. I thought that's what the dream was, you know?
Yeah, but I try to tell people this all the time. You can't compare traumas. Like when you have a traumatic experience in your life, regardless of what it is, my trauma is going to be up here with me. Chili's trauma is up here with him. Like you can't define somebody else's trauma.
Yeah.
And like success leads into problems that are just traumatic. And yeah, somebody might be broke and might be fixing to get kicked out of their single wide trailer somewhere, and that's hell to them.
That'd been a year ago.
Yeah, but also what's hell to some of us though is like people don't get it. This shit is taxing.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially when you go from single wide to worldwide.
yeah, dude, that's
I can't imagine that pressure though. Like having everybody's everything relies on you, and that's like a lot of pressure on your shoulders. Like I don't know.
It's definitely a lot. And sometimes I don't know how to address people. Sorry, Ben, if I've ever been rude to you on some days, but
well, fuck you, Brian. I mean,
Well,
you ain't gonna say I'm sorry,
Josh-
Josh. I've been rude to you at some point.
Josh,
we
you can
wasn't
handle it.
rude. We wasn't rude to each other. We were drunk together.
Oh, no. The only time you ever been rude to me, I think Ben was there that night in Macon when I was having to get your ass off stage at the very end of the night.
Yeah.
You was like, I'm playing this Johnny Paycheck song, goddammit. And I was like, fine, you better remember the fucking right words.
I was gone.
You go, Bubba.
I was gone.
It was funny, though, to me, because I don't remember who said it. They was like, Brian can have beer, but don't let him get too many shots in him.
No.
And I was like, Brian's a grown-ass man. Like, I can't tell him not to do it. And you didn't around us, but everybody there. This is another thing folks don't get. I had to start being able to learn to say no to people.
Yeah.
But like in a respectful way.
I had to learn that too.
Yeah.
In rehab.
Yeah. Dude. I can only imagine if it's bad for me at one of our events, everybody bringing a shot of tequila up to me. Everybody that goes to one of your concerts, their dream is to have, or their ideal situation for that evening is to have a drink with you.
Yeah.
That shit is rough, dude.
Oh, it is. Yep. And you don't want to. It's like now. I mean, I've been drinking some NAs. You know, I've tried every NA there is in like a week's time. But you know, my deal is like I've learned like if I walk out on stage and I make it a point to immediately hold up my NA and say, "Hey, this many days sober."
Yeah.
I let people know. I set the standard for them. Like, hey, you know, I'm doing something. That way, when I walk off stage and I go to talk to them at the merch table, they're like, man, hey, man, you know, I know you're not drinking, but hey, if you want one, I was like, no, I don't, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I've learned how to say no, like, you know, and that's a thing too, because it's not. I'm doing it this time for myself. I think
Yeah.
the first time ever, and that was the hardest thing for me to get through to my head was do something for myself.
You.
Yeah, because it's like I'm used to doing things for other people, but like for me to do something for myself, it was hard. And I like, you know, in rehab they were talking about you gotta set this above your kids. You gotta set sobriety above your kids. I'm like, you can't set nothing above my kids.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but if I don't, they won't have a daddy.
Yeah.
You know, so I got with it. I got with the program.
I just, it makes my heart explode that you have for one, but it's where we don't, none of us do that shit though. We think about things we value in life, like our kids, our families, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, hey, they're number one. But if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not living the way that you're supposed to, you can't do anything for them in the first place.
Oh no.
Like, it starts with you. Like I always try to tell folks, you came in this world alone, you're leaving this world alone. It is your job to make yourself happy and live the best life possible, first of all. But if you do that, then you're gonna spread happiness through that dash in the middle right there.
Yeah.
Like, but if you don't, if you're not happy, if you're not healthy, you're gonna be a miserable cunt to be around to everybody. And
Oh yeah, and I was for a little while. I was, you know, on the road, not to my friends, but maybe to my friends on the road. But like now, when I come back home, when I was drinking, everybody that wanted to have that kind of life with
Yeah.
me, we got along pretty good. But it was like when I was on the road and everybody quit drinking around me, and then I started realizing that they were hiding alcohol before I get in the green room, and I'm like, I didn't even want to drink, but now I do.
Yeah.
It's like, man, if you hiding something from me, I want it now. I didn't even want it.
Well, you're probably a lot like me, that where when somebody does something, you probably have the mentality, oh, I'm fitting to prove a point.
Yeah.
Like if you think you're gonna do this, like you're gonna be
It's
sneaky
the worst
about
character
it.
defect I have.
Oh, dude, I'm the same. If I think that you're doing something like that, I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you want to treat me like this?
Yeah.
You want to treat me like a child? I'll act like a goddamn child.
That's how I got all these scars, man. I'm glad I wasn't drinking with Morgan that night on the Chiefs bar. There would have been 2 chairs off the damn.
I'll go ahead and tell you, you'd have done more than a chair. You grabbed a goddamn table, knowing you. You just saw him getting a chair and be like, this bitch is getting a chair. I'm getting a fucking table.
That's that sissy shit.
Yeah, that's what you would have done. I know exactly what you'd have done. Goddamn, you liable to throw a bartender off that bitch.
But that was drunk Brian, y'all.
Yeah.
That was drunk Brian.
Sober Brian.
Sober Brian.
I
was
like
different.
sober Brian. I like it. You know what I like a lot when we talked like 2 weeks ago, whenever you agreed to do the show tomorrow night. I said, dude, if you want, I won't drink around you or nothing like. We don't have to like recording a podcast, whatever. And
fuck
you was
no.
like, I don't care.
So, yeah.
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 Well, I just know buddies of mine that have been to rehab and like they have gone through that and they don't want to be nowhere around it. And I like one side, yeah, you have no temptation, but on the other side of it, it's like you have to be okay being around it to have like real peace. I think.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing too. Is like when I came out of rehab, I was like, I haven't had a desire. You know, in rehab, I didn't have a desire to drink or anything. You know, I didn't even stay in detox a day. I was out, and I was like, shit, I'm just glad to be away from the schedule. You know, I was like, so like I got into rehab, and they were like, oh, we're gonna go snowshoeing and hiking and helicopters, and I'm like, shit, I feel selfish now.
Yeah.
I'm on vacation instead of at rehab.
You making it sound like I want to go to rehab.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like a cool trip.
So I'm like, yeah, $100,000 a month, you know.
I don't want to go to that rehab then.
That's what it
Can't
was for
afford
you
to.
then. Like when you were in your schedule, you were just like running away from the responsibility then.
My schedule was just too much, and it was like,
Yeah.
But I
That was
think
your escape.
I think that was my scapegoat too. Was like, you know, for me to go, y'all don't understand, you know, and I'd go run and drink, and then it was some problems back home. You know, I was going through stuff, and I've ironed out a lot of that too with just assertive, you know, being more assertive and less passive aggressive, and just kind of saying, hey, here's my boundaries. For once, you know, here's my boundaries. Here's where I'm at, like, and I think that it's been a lot better on me to be able to stand on those boundaries and go, you know, I think that I don't love you, but you know, my sobriety matters more.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to use that as a scapegoat now. Like, my sobriety, I got to stay sober. So
I don't think it's a scapegoat at all.
Yeah.
I think you had. It sounds like more. It sounds like you got more out of rehab than a lot of people do. Like you got self-awareness now,
yeah,
and like just being able to tell people no, being able to actually be assertive and be like, hey, look, this isn't good for me.
yeah,
Like that's a huge thing. I know that has helped me so much the past couple of years. Is just where like I lost this feeling to where like if I tell you no or I tell you something to where you don't want to hear, I used to be like, damn, I'm upsetting that person.
Yep.
I'm not being good to them. Like I need to be good to this person. But if you're not being good to yourself,
yeah,
that's when it becomes a problem. Like if you're putting somebody else's needs over yours, you know, sometimes that's okay. But when it comes to like your mental health, your health in general, your well-being, it's good when you find that peace to where no is just, I'm telling you no. There's nothing more, there's nothing less to it. I just don't want to do this. Doesn't mean I feel any type of way about you.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do this anymore.
I went 6 years. I think I talked about this a lot in rehab. I went 6 years sober, you know, and you know, somebody I love, you know, like I said, I ain't gonna say their names, but like wanted me to drink, and I was like, I'm 6 years sober.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we just won't have a party then if you're not gonna drink. You know, made me feel bad about it. And then I was like, okay. And then that led to a lot of hard times. I mean, the hardest time was because like a few weeks later, I went through the hardest time of my life because they were worried about if I was drinking or not.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, so these last few years of me been getting over that resentment. That man, I had 6 years sober. Now I'm going. Now these same people put me in rehab.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like getting over all that resentment and all that stuff, and just kind of going, nobody put a gun in my head.
Yeah.
Nobody drink. You know, nobody told me, hey, if you don't drink, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
They just said if you don't drink, I'm not gonna drink. Should have just not drank.
Well, and I think it's harder for folks like me and you too. The way we were raised, you just think you're supposed to have a beer in your hand sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just there's certain things that you do. You're just like, I'm from the country. I love country songs. I love drinking songs. I can't do shit without drinking.
Yeah.
And when you start to really think about it, it's like, damn, I literally had to go get a beer to go to a little league game.
Yeah.
Like, because a song told me to at some point in time. It's like, no, I don't have to do this anymore. Like, my point is like you have to. There's so many things the older you get. There's so much stuff that's been normalized to us that you don't realize it's not the norm. It's just normal to you because the way you were raised and all that. When you get and you see other people, like how they live and how they do stuff, I always thought it was funny that regardless of what it is, if it's like, are you a social drinker or like, what's the things? Like, do you never drink? Are you a social drinker, avid or whatever it is, like all that kind of shit? I was like, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Because I've never been around anybody that casually drank, socially drank. I've been around people that just like to drink. And then you start to get around like adults who's got their shit together. And you're like, oh, I know what that means now. When they're in a setting to where it calls for drinks, that's when you have drinks. You got to fucking do it every night of the week.
Oh no, man. That's like I went 3 months almost without drinking during when I was home for holidays and stuff. And I could do that, but if it came out to going out, hey, you gotta go meet with somebody in Nashville, I'm like, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
And it was a point to where nobody had to ask me, have you been drinking?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm out in town, yeah, I'm drinking. But if I was at home, then I didn't drink.
Yeah.
And that was my thing. But it was like, but I got to a point to where I noticed when I started having a problem was when I put a 12-pack in my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, now I remember a time when I put a 12-pack in my house and not drink none of them. But I put a 12-pack in the house and I was going through that fridge and I was going, damn, I need to buy more than 12-pack.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now I'm becoming an alcoholic. Okay. So now I was like, but at that point, man, I learned a lot, and I learned that like my kids, they're like, why are you drinking?
Yeah.
And then that's like one of the first times they've ever had to ask me that. They never seen none of the problems and the drugs and the things that I've been through in my life because I kept it away from them. But now I'm bringing it into, present in the sea. I'm like, damn. It's like now I got NAs in there. I got Bush NAs. And I was like, hey, will you go get one of them beers? And he goes, it's NA beer.
Yeah.
My son will be like, it's non-alcoholic, Dad. It's not a beer. I was like, okay, we'll go get one.
Let me ask you, because me and Nikki T had this conversation not long ago, and it was where he started just because he felt like he had to have something in his hand. He would have like a beer bottle and he'd fill it up with water, like just like a comfort thing more than anything. Is that like why you are doing the NAs?
Oh yeah, it's definitely exactly that. Because I remember I didn't have no problems. I came out of rehab. We went to our first show and I got a sober companion. Okay, so we get to Australia, and I'm like, I'm good, dude. I don't even need to be paying you to be here, to be honest with you. Which I love Dave. Shout out to Dave. But I was like, got there, and I walk in this green room, and there's a bottle of Jack in my green room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it hit me. I went, and I looked around, like Dave was right behind me. I was like, shit, if I'd came here 5 minutes earlier, I'd have been drinking that fucking Jack.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I got a problem.
Well, I'll give you credit, dude. I still don't know. You went directly from rehab to Australia, right? Like straight.
Yeah, flew from rehab to Australia.
You know how fucking strong-willed you have to be to go the day from rehab to 20,000 people screaming your name and just being on stage in that atmosphere and being like, no, I'm gonna remain sober. It
was tough. I'm not gonna tell you it wasn't tough.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna act like in a lot of situations, I'm like, oh, it wasn't shit.
Yeah.
And this one was, man. It was like, it was tough. But I went there and And after that first day, we went and hung out with Chris Young. That's what it was. We were playing with Chris Young on those dates. And Chris was like, we're finna go to Heartbreakers right down the road. I think we was in Sydney or somewhere. I can't remember. But I was like, okay, I'll be there. I'm coming down there. And I turned, and Dave, my sober companion, said, you're not going. And I went, well, you ain't got to go.
Now he's really, now he's really going.
Yeah.
Now he's really going. He's going to buy the bar.
And I said, I'm going. I'm going to that fucking bar.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not, you know the consequences, right? I'm like, going to a bar? I'm going to be going to them the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I was like, there ain't no consequences. I said, you're a long way from home. I have to buy you a plane ticket, you know? I said, those are your consequences. You're working for me, you know?
Yeah.
And I started kind of getting an asshole in me, and I was like, and then later on I apologized to him. I said, I'm going to that bar. I'm not going to drink.
Yeah.
And I went to that bar, and I didn't drink, but I hung out with Chris, and I hung out with his guys, and I drank an NA. And when I came back, you know, I told Dave was like, man, I don't ever want to get that look from you again. I was like, he said, I think you could have killed me with that look.
And obviously I don't know this guy, but it would seem like you ought to be putting that, like, I guess, baptized by fire type of thing. Like, if you're going to be doing this the rest of your life, you have to know that you're okay. It's almost probably really good for your sobriety that the day you got out of rehab, you were tested in that manner, and you held up.
Yep, we did it, man. And like I said, at first he was like, well, you can't drink an NA either. And I was like, oh, I want to drink NA. You know, if I want, I said, I'm telling you, Dave, I'm not the guy that you want to tell. You can't do something, man. I'm just
I can imagine if somebody like that went one comment overboard, it would push you into wanting to drink.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, we've since then we've settled it, and he's like, you know, we've got it. But like Dave's a good dude. But his thing is like, well, I just didn't want, you know, and that's the thing. They all do it for your best interest.
Yeah.
But they don't know the wiring that some people have. An addict brain is like,
I get it.
And a person like us, man, is like, you know, well, I didn't just start drinking because I was just having one of those days where I thought, man, let me have a drink. I started drinking because I got fucking problems.
Yeah.
You know, I got some issues going on, and one of them is a problem with authority. You know, so don't tell me I can't drink. And then I won't. If you tell me I can drink, I probably won't drink.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it kind of takes the fun out of it.
It does.
Yeah, it's like, because my mentality when I drink is, it's not like you're doing something you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But there's just like kind of something taboo with it sometimes in certain places.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I'll do what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
That's even like, most liquors taste like shit. Like, most things taste like shit. But there's something about having a glass of whiskey in your hand, you're like, I'm a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. Anytime you got it, it's like, why ain't I drinking something fruity that tastes good? Like, why ain't I drinking a goddamn pina colada?
A buttery nipple.
Yeah, like, why ain't I doing that? Yeah, it's like, why ain't I doing that? Oh, I have mental health issues, and I think I have to have a glass of whiskey in my hand, and got to turn my nose up every time I get too strong of a drink because, oh, this makes me look cool.
Yeah, I can't be seen with a White Claw.
Yeah, no shit.
See, I grew up, my dad, he drank 2 fists of Jack a night.
Jesus
right after work.
Christ.
He'd pour it into a cup and eat and drink it with his supper.
Man.
And just sit there and smoke 2 packs of cigarettes, watching TV. That's what I grew up on. And there was never not alcohol in the house.
Yeah, that's something my dad now, he's having to learn at 63 years old. He's been in and out of the ICU the past month.
Yep.
And I've never, not a day of my life has gone by that he has not drank a beer. Yep. Not a single day. And that got normalized to me, though. I thought that's how everyone was raised. I thought that's how everybody's dad was, all this shit. And you get older and you're like, no, fuck, it is not. How did I ever think that was okay and normal? And at 63, he's having to learn to live again and not smoke cigarettes and not drink.
Yeah. My dad's stuck in a nursing home from massive stroke from being alcoholic.
Yeah.
And he's paralyzed. He cannot move. And now he's on oxygen because he smokes so much.
My dad is now, too.
And it was just normal for me. And now being on stage every night, everybody's like, you're the beer dude. So how many beers do you think I get a night?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I did it to you last night.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
I'm
beer dude.
I'm an enabler, bitch.
Hey, fill you up a beer bottle with water.
I know.
There you go.
Well, it
Do it
got
for
to the
comfort.
point where I was drinking. I was doing maybe 5 or 6 of those beer slides a night on every show, and I was doing 2 to 3 shows downtown.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna try the NAs.
Yeah.
And I did, and then pissed me off because it didn't taste like beer.
Yeah. Well, if you try to bush NA, man, they're pretty good. I would tell you this, though. I've learned something. So, like, this is just my mental block that I put up just to kind of get me through it when I'm drinking NA. I mean, it's got everything. I'm trying to lose weight, but I'm drinking the one thing that's adding the weight to it. You know,
Yeah.
the only thing that's in the NA is what adds weight to it. But when I hold a beer, like NA, and I'm drinking them, I'm like, man, if I drink 30 of these son of a bitches in 10 minutes, it's like drinking one. And I'm going, but I can't drink 30 in 10 minutes because I ain't got time to drink 30 in 10 minutes. But then I'm sitting there going, and then by the time I do, I'm going to be so damn bloated.
I was going to say, you going to piss for fucking 3 days? You do that shit?
And then I tell myself, I'm always trying to beat the system.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, now I'm like, if I try to beat the system now, I'm never going to get over it. So it's like, I've learned, though, when I was taking Adderall and I was drinking, I couldn't get drunk. So I'm like, now I'm just pretending like I've been taking Adderall, but I haven't, and I'm drinking NAs, and it's like same thing. I ain't gonna get drunk, you know, just drinking a drink.
Anything like that is all about the perceptive, like your perception of it or whatever. Like, I don't know where we get so fucked up with our wiring that we got to get drunk. Like, because I'm the world's worst now. Like, I love taking Adderall and I love drinking.
Yeah.
But it's so stupid when you think about it, because them bar tabs are just ridiculous at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
$19,000.
and it's like, why am I doing this?
$19,000 in January.
Yeah, I imagine you did.
And I'm still contesting it, you know, because I don't remember half of the bar bill. So
I remember one of them. I'm part of one of those. I promise you.
what we did, we tipped that bartender like $500 that night.
You fucking did. I didn't tip shit. No, we went to the listening room, and God bless his soul, because you're just like me. This is how I know you didn't grow up with money. When you've got money, you want to spend it on the people you care about.
Yeah.
And I'm the same fucking way. Like, I don't want anybody to go without if I can help it. We was at the listening room, and it was such a good night. It was Casey, Casey and Farron and Jenna LeMaster and the Ashland Craft. Yeah. And we sat there, and we caught us a damn good buzz. And next thing you know, Brian gets up, I like going to the bathroom, flags the damn waiter down, pays for everybody's food. No telling what the fuck he tipped them. And all of us was like, Brian, you didn't have to do that.
And the table next to us.
Yeah, and the table next to us. You really didn't have to do that shit. I still don't know. We didn't even talk to these people the whole night. I think they said one word to Brian, and Brian, I got your food. Like, I was like, okay, I hear you. But, yeah, dude, you're just, I don't know. I don't know why we feel like we have to we're obviously compensating for something.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what
Well, it's just
I'm
like,
compensating for.
well, I mean, it's like me, man. When I got first thing I did when I got money was retire my daddy.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, you ain't got the money to retire me. I was like, I didn't say I was retiring myself. I said I was retiring you. But it's like something that's like in me. That's like I'm not going. No, I don't need it. Like, to be honest with you, I mean, this could be my one fit attire for. You know, I could have 3 sets of this right here and just get along just fine. I don't have to have a whole lot. Like, but I know that there's people around me that you know worked hard and they don't see that kind of success.
Do you? Because I have this mentality very bad. Do you see people that have like busted their? Like, we'll just say you're like your daddy, because I'm the same way towards mine. Do you think to yourself when you do stuff like that, it's like, I don't deserve what I've got, and they're the ones that should have it.
Yeah.
So I need to make their life better.
Yeah.
Because they're the one that should be getting this opportunity, not me.
That's exactly what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that thing. You know, it's like, and I mean that could be the randomest person. You know? I could just see them struggling and go, hey, they deserve this more than I do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. tried to figure out if that's self-destructive a lot, or what
Verdict's
the fuck
in.
or what it is, because I'm not sure.
Self-sabotage.
Yeah, but like it's just I see so many people, and it's like I don't deserve this shit. Like I got lucky, I've got blessed. I didn't deserve it, but then you see somebody that's like, damn, that's a good person. That dude is talented. They're just a wonderful human being, and they're getting shit on.
Yeah.
Or they've had to work their whole lives and break their back, and they're actually a good person. And here my fat ass is get to talk for a living and do nothing. It's like, no, I don't, no, like they're the ones that deserve this shit.
Yeah, that's the way I am, man. It's like, you know, I'm blessed and I'm thankful, I'm grateful, but there's not a day that goes by that I sit back and think, man, I deserve it, you know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a lot of times where I think about, man, I put a lot of work in, but at the same time, like, and I see my worth as far as, like, working,
Yeah.
but it came with swinging a hammer and working 15 years in the oil field and going home so damn tired I couldn't even hold my head up. You know?
There's a lot of times, dude, that I'll do like something around
West
the house.
Texas is a bitch sometimes.
I bet it fucking is. I'll do something around the house and I'll complete a task that's like manual labor. I'll get more satisfaction by completing that task than I will from when a show goes viral. It's so fucking weird to me. Like, it's like, this is my actual job. I get no satisfaction from this. But when I do something that's like a task, a manual labor task, like, okay.
I folded the underwear.
Dude,
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like,
Changed my wife windshield wiper blades.
Hanging my gold record and getting it straight was
probably better than recording a gold record. It's so we're the same person except you're talented. That's exactly how I feel, dude. It's so fucking weird to me.
Yeah.
What
is that? What do you call that? What do you call that? Imposter syndrome?
Yes, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not. You deserve it. Like you're a good dude.
You deserve it too.
Well, thank
You
you.
deserve it more than I do.
No. See, you deserve more than I do. That's why I love you so much. I just do. Like and that's what I was telling you when I asked you, like, let's sit down and do the show, because I think that there's just so many people that are scared to take that leap anyway and say, hey, I need to make a change. Like I do. And like it is, you know, when they hear why, like it's more than just, you're talking about the mental health stuff with it. You're talking about just how, like, you're coming to terms with a lot of things. More people need to realize, like, rehab and all that kind of shit. Like, if you were a car, you got to get tuned up sometimes. Like, there's something like you got to get oil changed. You got to get all that
I'd be an
kind
old
of
beater,
shit.
man. I'd be a pinto.
Boy, you ain't lying. I'd be a piece of shit, a shit box. But yeah, like it's okay to work on yourself.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing in the world wrong with it.
And that's one thing. That's the reason why, like, I put up the post about. I actually had it. The first post I put up didn't stay up for like about an hour, not even that. Was that picture of me with my head down at that table at the listening room with the Coors Light bottles and everything around me. And I said, about to say goodbye to a few friends. You know, see y'all in 30 days.
Yeah.
You know, and then they pulled it down, and they told me, you know, hey, they pulled the post down. They didn't want to say nothing about it yet. And I was like, hell no. I said, and so I waited till I got to rehab, and everybody had left. And that night, I right before I turned my phone in, because you have to turn your phone in.
Yeah.
Right before I did that, I made the post, and I said, I want people to hear from me. Like, I don't want, you know, this to come out from TMZ or XYZ or nobody else. I want it to be from me.
Yeah.
And I want them to know why. And like I said, that's why I made the post. And, you know, the second time I made that post, nothing on my socials until I got back home. You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's just me making that statement of, like, I know y'all got a job, social media and all that, but when it comes to me, you know, I'm not going to let somebody dictate my press releases. Like, I'm going to tell you how it is. And, like, you know, people can get mad at me, and they can do all this stuff, and they got 30 days to figure it out before I get out. You know, you can be, oh man, you can pick me apart all you want. I'm not gonna have my phone for 30 days.
Yeah.
But if one person comes across it and goes, man, that man, you know, did something that I need to do, and then they go do it, and it helps that one person, and that's the only person I posted it for. You know. Yeah. So the rest of them just sugar on the cake.
Yeah. Me and you're the same. First of all, I love the fact that you controlled the narrative, like that you told what was going on.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's supposed to be. Like, it humanizes you.
Yeah.
It makes the people that literally love you and support you know that it makes it look like you're doing it the right way too.
Yeah.
Like you wasn't forced, and you wasn't forced.
Oh, ain't nobody
Like,
forced me to do nothing.
Oh, I
man.
know. That would end a whole different way. But yeah, dude, like there's not enough people that are willing to take that step, and you humanizing it. Like it's like maybe I need to take that step today.
Yeah.
Maybe if Brian Martin, this outlaw in country music, is doing this, maybe I need to do it. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
Yeah. And it's a good rehab. Cirque Lodge, Sundance, Utah.
You better not be poor if you look it up.
Room 208. If you get room 208, that's the one I was in.
Did you feel like coming back or whatever that is your plan not to drink again? Like, are you staying sober?
Yeah, I mean, for now, yeah, like I said, right now it's 24 hours at a time, doing the sober thing. But I want to someday be able to go, if I want to drink today,
Yeah.
I know I can drink and not get drunk.
Yep.
But if I can go another day without drinking,
Then why have one?
then I have one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering, because there's some people that I know that have went because it was more like a detox to them than actually like a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Like I figured with you as a lifestyle change, knowing you.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle change, but it's also like my kids are getting old enough they're getting smart and they're
Yeah.
and man, if I don't grow up at some point and actually, be a dad more than a rock star or
Yeah.
whatever the hell's going on now in my life. Which there was a time in my life when that's all I was a dad and somebody who came home hurting and aching and bitching and moaning, coming home from West Texas and working on the rigs but I also want to have them to have my core values,
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm able to give them my core values without giving up the one thing that keeps me from talking about them, It's like,
There's a meme that I really like, or it's a quote, that it's the only person that's going to remember in 20 years whether you worked overtime or long hours is your kids.
yeah.
Like your boss and nobody else does, but your kids are going to remember you not being there.
Yeah.
And that hit me hard when I read it. Because, I seek more, I don't know, validation from my child, whether my career or whatever. I want her to think I'm cool.
Yeah.
The rest of the world, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck what they think.
Yeah.
But my child is I want her to think I'm the coolest person ever. And she doesn't care about this, but she wants, being a good dad is what's going to make your kids think that you're the coolest person ever. It doesn't matter what you do for a career because they see you differently. Mm-hmm. But being there and being there for them, that's what, because me and you probably want acceptance from our kids more than anything else in the world. We just want them to love us.
Yeah. If nobody else does, that's the only ones we want.
Yeah, it's that same fucking one. Damn. No wonder me and you get along so good.
But yeah, that's the thing, man. It's I'm learning now that it's whenever they do get old enough and they tell stories, I want them to have my youngest is 6, gonna be 7. So my oldest is 14. So it's when she gets older, I don't want her to have only memories of me being gone on the rigs and but that thing is she don't have more memories of me being gone drunk every night.
Yeah.
Than I did working. So her abandonment issues is gonna be daddy worked too much, Yeah. And my other kids, I'd rather them have that same thing as say, but daddy worked a lot, but it ain't gonna be as daddy was out there getting drunk every night in a bar, or daddy was out, running around and doing this, that, and the other, and so I'd rather them have the same kind of memories as my daughter has, but I'd rather spend more time with them when I can and make those little times more memorable than I used to.
I found it real interesting. We've done a show with Georgette Jones and Georgetta, however the hell you say her name. I always mess her name up.
Georgette?
It's Georgette.
Yeah.
And we've done a show with Johnny Paycheck's son. And both of them kind of had the same comment to say. It's like everything that the rest of the world idolized our dads for is why we had a problem with our dads.
Yeah.
Like everybody thought No Show Jones was cool as shit, except your kids. And it's like, fuck, I've never thought about it from that perspective.
Oh, I have.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't until they said it, and I was like, I don't want Gracie just to be like, Dad was gone partying all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's not what I want her to think of me. You start fucking around with what your kid thinks of you, you'll change the damn world.
Oh, yeah,
You'll change everything overnight just because I'm not letting my daughter down. I might let everybody else on this fucking planet down. I ain't letting my kid down.
If Josh Terry ever settles down again, it'll be because his daughter told him to.
Yeah. Well, the thing, like somebody told me something recently, and shout out to my girlfriend for telling me this, but it was she told me she didn't want me to do stuff because she asked me to do them.
Well, you wanted to.
Because I wanted to. And I've really never thought of that before. It's like, okay, if I'm going to be a better person, it's got to be because I want to.
Yeah.
Not because I think you want me to do it.
Because you'll never do it.
Yeah. And then you start thinking of shit that way, and it's like, damn, I do got to be that way for me because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So you getting sober, dude. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the right thing for you,
Hey.
but it spreads out to your family. It spreads
And I'll
out to
tell
your
you, man,
friends.
it does. Because, like, me doing something because I want to do it, and me going home and being a better person because I want to be a better person, not going home expecting, waiting on that next argument or waiting on that next, phone call that's going to send me off the rails. I go home expecting, my expectations are very low now. So it's like I go home expecting, nothing to be done. And whenever something's done, I'm like, well, man, my kids are excelling, but it's better than going home with high expectations and not having the same for myself. So it's like, now I've got higher expectations for myself and lower expectations for those around me, but they always exceed their expectations, and I've learned how to try to just meet mine,
I love you. You're not even the same person as
I know.
2 months ago.
I know, dude.
Well, you could tell, and I mean this in the most respectful way. I would say it to you at any point in time. I've never seen your demons before, and that's what concerned me more than anything. Is like we saw like some of the shit we saying. You knew you were hurting.
Demons.
Yes, that's what they sounded like. And it sounds like you've come to terms with a bunch of them. Like it's not even just like you being sober. It sounds like some of that stuff that was just leaking out of you when you would get drunk and get too far gone. Sounds like some of this shit you've come to terms with just in the past 2 months.
I have, man. I really have. That was part of me, because I was in there and they worked the steps and everything, and I had people around me that were going through some of the similar things, some of the same things, and some of them were way worse off than I was on fentanyl or whatever it was, and I'm going, man, I didn't have that bad of a problem. And then I'd turn a corner and there'd be somebody that was way better off than I was, and I go, hey, I did have a problem, and then it's kind of going back and forth, and then me saying, this person trying to work through their problems, in return listening to their stories and what they had to let go of to be able to stay sober. I was like, yeah, man, I was trying to help them and encourage them to let go of these things.
Yeah.
But then in return, knowing I had fingers pointing back at myself and going, I got to do the same presentation next week, and I got to talk about things I got to let go of. I got to do this, and I think by the time I went to do my presentation, I was like, at the end of it, it said, who do you resent? And I said, myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I think I learned it because it's like, I was the only person who picked up that bottle. I'm the only person who, I can't change anybody else, but I can't change the way they act, overreact, how they function, but I can change how I do. So I can change how I act, how I accept things, and by doing that, by changing my reactions and the way I act, the people around me have changed as well. So it's like I was a problem.
Well, what's great about you being the problem, though, and this is like for all of us, like you just said, if you recognize that you're the actual problem, you ought to be happy about it because you know you can fix that problem. I can't fix anybody else, but I can fix me. And as soon as you like, well, maybe I am the fucking issue here.
Yeah.
That's great because I can fix me. It might take some time and effort, but I can do that.
I was like, man, all that blame shaming I had done to me, it was all true.
Yeah. I'm the worst about it. I literally put the blame of everything on me.
Yeah.
But I don't play victim. It's kind of weird.
You can't be a victim.
Yeah, I don't play victim. I just think if something goes wrong, I did it. Or it's something that I did to cause it.
Yeah, and I think we try to take, like, my biggest thing was I was always thinking, well, I don't want that person to hurt. You know, I always thought, like,
So I'm going to make myself hurt in their place.
yeah,
Yep, 100%.
empathy.
We are psychos.
Sociopaths.
Yeah. I could just hear like somebody clipping out the show and then putting like the meme underneath it. Who hurt you?
Who hurt you?
Yeah, everyone. Myself. That is who hurt me.
That
It
tall
was
Jack.
myself.
Little splash of Coke.
I have a
Jesus
question though.
Christ.
How is it different this time versus the last time you went through it? Like what makes it different? Like are you facing more about
yeah.
yourself, or what made it, easier or harder this time versus last
Well,
time?
last time I quit. I was in the ministry, so I was. So I quit, and I had a misfired. I misfired a gun, and I took 30 Percocets and drank a fifth of whiskey, and I tried to take myself out, and woke up that next morning and met the woman who's now the mother of my children, and I was like, I'm gonna get my stuff together. I'm gonna do it because like all this didn't happen for no reason, and I did. I got sober for a while. I went to ministry, but I was more or less, pointing out everybody else's problems and like saying this is what you need to work on. This is what I was becoming more into religion than I was, sobriety, and it was like, and then the last time when I left the ministry, I was like, I love Jesus. I don't love religion. It's like
Big difference.
and so I was like,
Big difference.
But I also learned that like I can preach it, but I can't stand being preached at.
Yeah.
Like and that's when I realized I had a problem, and that's when I went back down a different path with my music and everything else. So I was like, okay, I don't like people to point out my flaws, but here I am, helping people. But actually, am I helping them? Maybe today because they're in church and they feel. But am I really helping somebody by pointing out things that I won't point out to myself?
Yeah.
And that's when I went back off the deep end and started drinking again. And then, like I said, this time I decided not for the people that was going through it around me, but for myself that I was going to do it. And it's a big difference because I was like, I can jump out in front of a grenade for anybody, and I'll do it to the day I die.
Yeah.
But this is one grenade that nobody else can jump in front of for me.
What's cool about this is, that saying that is like, you can't help an addict till they want to help themselves.
Yeah.
You want to help yourself, and you can hear it. Like, you can hear with everything
it's
you're
different.
saying.
Oh, thank you.
Like,
man.
it's cool to hear you be like this. I'd rather you be like this. I like having fun with you.
Yeah.
But it's like I told you, that whenever you came home and I got the first phone call we had with each other, I was like, I don't have to drink to be around you. Like, we can go do some cool shit and not. Like, I don't.
I was like, I don't want you to stop drinking just because I quit.
Yeah. But, like, it's one of them things that where somebody like you that I love and so many love you. It's like, if Brian's not drinking, it's not necessarily that I don't want to drink around you, like, to make you feel uncomfortable. It's like, hey, Brian's not drinking. I don't have to drink.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. Like, there's some people that's just like I said, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's
think that
it's cool.
it's kind of like with Trey, man. Like, I think I look back on it. Trey checked up on me a few times while I was in rehab.
Good.
Like, I think about Trey Lewis, like, and Ben's sober, he's 2 years.
Oh, Ben, I didn't know. Congratulations.
Almost 1,000 days, man.
Hell
Went
yeah,
to
dude. I
rehab,
had
too.
no idea.
That's awesome.
I just
Yeah,
got trying to
dude.
steal Brian's thunder over here. you know.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck Brian. You got way longer.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You didn't have 6
Brian
years
ain't
though.
done shit yet.
You didn't have 6 years.
Over here.
You didn't have 6 years though.
24 hours at a time, man. That's all. That's,
Awesome.
But
That's
no,
awesome.
Trey Lewis thing, man. It's like I thought about Trey, like, still able to go out there and party it up and have a good time with all his friends and not drink. Like that's what I think about too. Is like Trey don't tell people around him to not drink. Trey
Right.
just goes out there and knows he ain't going to. You know.
That's got to be so liberating.
Yeah.
It's to know that you don't have to.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that I still struggle with. And like I've cut way, way back on it. But I used to think when I went to do one of my shows that that's what everybody in that crowd expected from me.
Yeah.
Everybody expected me to be drunk, to be wild. And I thought for the longest time, I was like, if I don't do this, they're not going to like being here. They're not going to come back. They're not going to love me anymore.
Yeah.
That is not the case at all. They're there to have a good time. And as long as you're supplying the good time
Oh yeah.
and they're entertained, they don't care whether you drink or not.
Yeah, I
They're
think
not-
that's just a persona you
Yeah.
created in your head because you're just a good time anytime.
Well, but
for sure.
But there's so many of us that are like, our thrill that we get is when we see somebody else smile, or we see somebody else laugh, or we see somebody singing your song back. You'd probably rather hear everybody in that crowd sing your song because they are enjoying it than you actually sing the song in the first place.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's just like some of us, we get, without a better word, we get off on watching you enjoy us
Yep.
instead of me actually enjoying it myself.
Yep.
Like, there's something about that just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
And like when you figure out that you don't have to, and you can say no or whatever it is, when you figure out you don't have to be the image that you've built in your head of yourself,
Yep.
because you're already being exactly what they want you to be.
Yep.
It's freeing.
It is, man. I'm good, man. It's like one of those things where I think, if I started thinking, well, I'm just gonna, I don't set a date on it. I don't set how long I'm gonna do it. I just go, like I said, 24 more hours at a time. And I'm just excited to be able to remember half the shit I'm doing now.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, that's one of my things too, is I start thinking about, damn, I really enjoyed that trip to Nashville. I really enjoyed that concert. But how much of it ain't I remembering? It's like I'm spending all this money and going to do all this great shit, and I don't remember some of it. That shit gets old. It's like, why did I even fucking go and experience it if I wasn't going to remember it and make a memory out of it?
I met so many people since I've been sober that come up to me and go, "Hey, remember me?" I'm going.
You ain't gonna remember them in the first place. 'Cause I know you.
Like, yeah, how are you?
Oh, the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you been? Yeah.
You still got that cat you were talking about?
That's it. That cat still got that hernia.
You know how many times, and I know you fucking done it because I've heard you do it. Okay, the listening room. This is how nice Brian is. After he tips the guy, the waiter or whatever, all that money, the guy knows who Brian is, and he's like, "Man, I'd love to write with you sometime." Brian's like, "Hell yeah, man, come hit me up later on that night." And then that dude comes up, brings his ass all the way to Losers, and just sitting there. And Brian's just taking time with him, or whatever. And then the next day, you remember he texts you the next day, and you're like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Sounds right.
I'm sorry if you're watching this.
Yeah. But it was funny to me because you know how many times I'll tell somebody, especially if I make it to Red Door or that side of town late at night, and somebody be like, "Man, I want to do the show." I'll be like, "Fuck yeah, you can do the show.
let me
Hit
tell
me
you-
up tomorrow." They'll text me, and I'll be like, "Who the hell are you?"
Look at this right here. 419 missed
Are you the
text
same way?
messages.
Look, what is mine?
And I try.
279.
And I try like hell to go back and answer
307.
everybody. But I'll give my phone number out to 3 more people today. I guarantee.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
always end up with pictures on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm just everybody's my best
well,
friend that
you
night. I don't know who they
well,
are.
you being sober though, giving out your number 3 more times is way more
Way better than
productive.
30 times. Yeah,
Jesus,
drunk.
dude, I just want
Drunk
you to,
me would give it out 30 times.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. You give it to waiters and tell them you're gonna write a fucking song with them.
Yeah, I do. And that guy's got a good heart wherever you're at out there. Man.
You're even a better person now. I don't know if I like that. I like the rest of it. I don't know if I like. He was nice to us. Shut your mouth, Josh. Quit making him feel bad.
We're gonna write that fucking song.
About your cat.
Soon as you go back to the listening room and he reintroduces himself to you.
I know who he is. He got a ponytail.
Hey,
Oh
old-
shit!
big old
yeah,
boy.
That's He looked like he had like that Thor hair.
He did.
Yeah, like Thor hair. I don't remember nothing
Dude, it
else
takes
about him.
grooming, bro.
And he's going to say that he's Cody Wolf.
It's no, it wasn't doing Cody.
Shit.
He's kind of like Chili Dog. He had a little bit of hair back here in the back.
I did.
Oh, chill! I didn't realize till yesterday you'd got all your hair cut off. Looks good like that.
I had to restart.
Dude, I got like 8 or 9 inches cut off mine. It's still on.
Yeah,
I miss it though. I miss having long hair. I liked it.
I don't. I can't.
Dave's gonna miss it soon.
Yeah, I swear. I feel like I'd have to shampoo and condition it 3 times a day to keep it from looking like I'm a homeless man.
Dave's gonna kill me. Dude, I'm just proud of you. Like I
Thank
can
you,
say
bro.
it a million times. I thank you same way Trey has. Trey kind of spread his message with his friends, and you see like Burrell and other people getting sober and stuff because of him. I think you're gonna do that with a lot of your buddies. Like your friends, including myself, we're wilder.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with getting older and slowing down.
I
Like,
know it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with being in a hurry to get this life over.
Yeah. That's where I was. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like in slowing down, like I said, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for the rest of us. Like,
Yeah.
you'll be an inspiration to a lot of
Well,
us.
thank you, man. You know, Cody Jinks. He just put out his new album.
You got 3 cuts on that
I
bitch.
did have 3 cuts on
That's
that.
my boy.
But you know that song "Sober" thing. I remember we was going to first time hanging out with him since I went through my
Yep.
divorce, you know, and so we went to hang out and we had 6 buckets of beer, and that was like the last 6 buckets of beer he had. He went sober on me.
Did he?
Yeah, and then he was talking to me the next time I saw him. He was drinking NAs, and I was like, shit, I feel like shit. You know, I'm
Yeah.
drinking the Gold Tops. I mean, I'm one of the guys now, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it was like that Sober Thing song. I got drunk and I was riding in the back of the truck, and Tyler Stubblefield was doing the filming, and I was singing every word to Sober Thing, and I'd never heard it. And he literally in the video turned around and goes, dude, you're singing my song, and I've never let nobody listen to it. And that Sober Thing song it hits me hard now. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I'm closer to the messed up than the Sober Thing, you know. And you know, I listen to that song a lot, and it's helped me out a lot. But I remember I thought I'd heard that song a million times when they played it that night, and I was singing every word of it, and I never heard it in my life. But you know, I think that's the deal too. Is you know, us writing together, and then him getting sober, and him taking control of his business, getting sober, and I think it all just kind of trickled down to me doing the same.
There's this thing that I really believe in. It's called the wildfire effect.
Yeah,
And you never realize when you're going to be the match in a wildfire.
yeah,
But like you want to be somebody regardless of what it is in your life that you're doing. You want people to see what you're doing and want to do it. Do it like whether it's being sober, chasing your dreams, whatever it is. Like you want to be somebody that inspires others to do the same thing. And it sounds like from Jinx to you don't know who the next one's going to
yeah.
be.
Ben,
Yeah,
Ben's one.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like the more that you're a good person, and the more that you treat people well, and they see how you're living
Yeah,
is okay, they're gonna be like, "Damn, I need to do that." Like that. Maybe that's what I'm missing in
well,
my
I mean,
life.
you know, it's a good thing. You know, and it's not like I'm out here just preaching sobriety. You know, like I said.
I don't think it's sobriety though.
I think it's not. I don't think it's sobriety. You know, I think it's more of
It's better living.
just better living.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like self. You know, care. You know, caring about yourself enough to. But like I've always looked up to people like you too, like the way you carry yourself, the way you're able to talk, and I've never been able to talk. Like and that,
You talk in fucking song lyrics.
I know,
all
but
day,
you know how
every
many
day.
times I've stood up
Shut
for-
the fuck up. I want to have that talent more than anything.
You remember how many times I sit up there on that bar stool just scared to death to sing you a song? Like, I mean, and that's
Yeah.
the thing is like, I'm still that same person. I'm just different, you know? But it's like, as I'm learning a lot of things. I'm learning how to put things into perspective. But I look up to a lot of people. And most people I grew up looking up to, I still look up to. They're drunks,
Yeah.
you know?
Same. I've had to get some shit through my head in the past year that the people that I idolized, I can idolize their music, but I can't idolize their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to listen to every George Jones and Keith Whitley song and Johnny Paycheck, but remember how that story ended.
Yeah.
Like, you can sit here and sing along and have a good time and all that shit because they're greats and they are my favorites. But I don't want to end up like Keith Whitley.
No.
I mean, you know what? I would imagine his family, his fans, and everybody would want more than him having the whatever it is, the legend of him dying
33
from a
years
Bart
old.
broke heart with Lori and the 33 Budweisers or whatever it is. They'd probably rather have him here.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and it's just like that's what you need to be idolized. And you can admire somebody for their talent. And I think this town, and I think country music in general, is the worst. That we look up to people that had horrible home lives,
Yeah.
that were completely living unhealthy lifestyles, and we think it's the coolest shit until
It's called a generational curse.
you don't realize how bad it is until you're living it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you live it, you realize, fuck.
Speaking of wildfires, I wrote one called "Rather Be the Fire" that I showed you, I think, a while back. It's coming out on a new album.
Hell yeah.
It's like "Rather Be the Fire than what's left in the smoke." You know, we talking about wildfires.
You fucking asshole.
I know.
Cameron also has a song coming out
I
that
know
I was
he
about
does.
that I was about to forget because we done got so wrapped up
yeah.
in this shit.
Cameron's got a song that I wrote. No, I'm just picking.
Yeah,
Cameron-
it's
Cameron
it's
wouldn't
out-
let me pitch him no songs, by the way. He just pitches me songs.
It's,
I'm
it's
cutting
out
one. It's
April
called Demon
19th.
Sleep.
Yeah.
And I wrote it with Russell Sutton, Lee Starr, and Ryan Rossabo. I'm excited. It's
It's your first single, isn't
it's
it?
my first one. Yeah. Yeah, it's a song about my grandpa and getting back to like the simple things. And it's cool because the day it went live for pre-sale and stuff, I was at my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
And so I just got up at, 6 o'clock to go sit on the dock and watch the sunrise and just, I don't know, it was cool. It's exciting to have something with my voice on it that's
Yeah.
out there,
You got a couple though that I just love. Like I bother him every time. You're one of like I think everybody's starting to realize who I actually like and who like I want around and stuff.
It's
Like
not hard to tell.
yeah, like I'm such a dick to everybody else. I don't see how it's not. But from the first time I heard you, and then your story on top of it with the heart and everything, it's like this is my dude, and I'm excited for more people to hear. I'm excited that you're putting something out.
I'm excited to have something that's not, before people would come to a show or whatever and they'd be like, when can we hear you? And I'm like, next year when I come back to your town, It's just exciting. The process of it was really cool. Like one of the songs we cut at Winona Judd's home studio.
Oh, that's fucking nasty.
And just getting to see real musicians and how they work and watching all that stuff. The only time I'd really ever seen that was when you cut.
Demons Don't Sleep.
Yeah, Demons Don't Sleep. They
That
were
was your
nice
first
enough-
cut, too, wasn't it?
Yeah. They were nice enough, first and only, baby.
Baby.
Not for long.
But they were nice enough to let me come sit in and watch. And Ben and I were just sitting in the back, being like, "This is so cool to watch everything and how everybody works and how there's
said, "Don't
7
screw this
musicians,
up."
but it's one thing happening." I don't know. I'm just excited to have something out there with my name on it that people can go hear, and it's also really
How come you
Stressful.
never put out the Last Breath song?
it'll be out in 10 weeks after April 19th.
Okay.
It'll be out. So get ready to pre-save in 8 weeks.
Absolutely. We got to, because I guess we just didn't plan out this one. One of the things I'm going to start doing up here is these 1 week that I'm up here every month. I'm going to try to coordinate with an artist every time that's got a song either coming out the week before, the week of, whatever, and kind of infuse them into everything we do that week.
That's
so
cool.
like social media posts, like having them part of everything, the show at Live Oak that we do, like everything. Because there's just not, there's people like you that need to be heard. There was a point in time that Brian needed to be heard. I use it as an example all the time. When me and Dustin Heron was sitting with you at Live Oak, Brian showed us his Spotify numbers, and it was flatlined until it wasn't. And then it was just fucking mountains of data and everything. And it's,
15 years of flatline.
yeah. And that's the
Not
thing.
to brag, but I got 58 monthly listeners right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
59 now,
You
you
know,
ain't
if there were
checked it.
59 people in my house, I'd be like, please leave. Like, you know what I mean? You got to be grateful for them.
So me and somebody who's a social media person, I got in an argument about this shit not long ago, but it was where they don't consider anything a success unless it gets to 500,000 views on a video. And I'm like, if you sit here and you think about it, have you ever played in front of 1,000 people? Have you ever played in front of 500 people? Like, that is a success still. Like, if you go into a bar tonight and there's 300 people screaming at you or having a good time, that's a crowd.
Yeah.
Like, there's too many people that have these huge, you got to have 1 million views on a video for it to mean something. I don't think it does. I think it's what you're putting out. If it's quality and it's good, regardless if it's music, a video, or whatever, and you got a certain number, if you get 10,000, that's an arena.
Well, it's also like, obviously, I'm nowhere even close to where I want to be. Like, I have big dreams for this business and things I want to do. But right now, like, my family and this is how we pay our bills.
Yeah.
In our house, we say this is how the bills don't get paid.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't have to have a, quote, day job. You know,
Yeah.
I'm able to go gig, and then I can write full time. I may have to go Uber, you know, on a slim week or something like that. But if you would have told
I wish you would have picked me up for an Uber at some point in time, and I didn't know you was coming. Boy, I'd give you so much shit.
I do pizzas, not people.
Okay.
No, but if you would have
much
gone and
easier
told
to
the
do.
Pizzas
kid,
don't talk back.
Yeah, it's harder to get those pregnant.
my car smells better when they like But you know, if you would have gone and told the kid in high school that was failing all his classes, sitting in the back of the classroom writing a song,
Yeah,
you know, I would turn in songs instead of English papers and things like that. Or,
that's cool.
you know, my grades were terrible. And if you would have gone and told that kid who was like, just let me graduate so I can go do the thing I want to do, please. That obviously, in the eyes of most people, I have no success.
You got a cut.
But I get to go play in towns across the country, and like I've gotten to go to some other countries, and this is how I feed my family, and that's
Well, to me, that's success, though.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
You define your own level of success. Like you either can say, I'm successful once I get to play in an arena, or I can view myself, I'm getting to do what I want every day. That's success.
I saw this quote the other day that was like, you told yourself that things that have already happened would make you happy.
Ooh.
And like, as soon as you get one achievement,
That's deep.
as soon as you get one achievement, like,
Take
you just
time.
want more. Like, I remember when you called me to be like, hey, Demons Don't Sleep is on the record, how excited I was.
Yeah.
And then there were a couple other things. Then you move it, and you're like, well, now I want this, and now I want this. And, like,
Oh, it happens.
it's such a weird thing. This is a little off topic, but all three of y'all are fathers, and I'm a new father. But how do y'all balance the being gone thing? Because, like, I don't know if y'all feel this way, but sometimes I feel guilty that I still have to play music and be on the road to be happy. I love being a father so much, but such a big piece of who I am is playing music. And I don't think I could be the husband I need to be
You're never
or the
gonna-
father if I didn't have my career. And so trying to figure out how to balance that, you know, it's the only thing in my whole life it's mandatory that I be good at. Like, it is mandatory that I be a great father to my daughter.
I'm the same. You never get used to it. It's nothing that ever gets easier. There's no balance in it. You're always gonna feel guilty when you gotta leave, when you miss a baseball game, whatever it is. You're gonna always feel guilty. But when you start to realize I'm doing this for them, one day they're gonna get that I'm doing this for them.
I literally had this conversation with my 9-year-old 2 days ago.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm on the road with Brian, and I've been missing my son's baseball games because he plays on Thursdays and Saturdays. You know,
I'm
in
sorry.
the last 2 years, I coached his team. You know, but I sat him down and I said, "Hey, bud, you know, I want to talk to you about this. You know that this is what Dad does for a living, and you know, I want to be there. I don't want to miss a pitch or an at bat, but this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing, but I'm doing it for us. You know, you see that I'm doing that for us. And he said, "Oh, I know, Dad. I know you want to be there." And, you know, man, he knows I don't want to miss any of it. But even at 9 years old, like, he sees that I'm doing this to support our family, you know. And I don't know, man, like, my dad, you know, not to, like, I mean, just to bring it full circle. I mean, my dad was an alcoholic, and he never hit me or anything too hard. But
we've all been there, bud. We get it.
but he wasn't, you know,
Get it.
emotionally there for me, you know.
Yeah.
And
I
I feel like
means
just a
more.
little bit of that, like me just communicating to my
Yeah.
son,
1,000%.
you know, is like breaking that cycle a little bit at a time. And man, you're gonna screw up.
That's such
You
a
know,
big
we're all
piece
gonna
of it.
screw
Like
up.
you and I have had 100 conversations about this.
Yeah.
But you
You
know,
gotta
like,
give yourself grace, though,
Yeah.
man. You know,
Yeah.
we're
No,
not
I
gonna
think you only
do it
start
perfect.
failing when you stop rushing home.
That's been.
I mean,
Yeah.
start when
Yeah.
when you like,
Yeah.
let's say you play a show on a Thursday night and you decide I'm just gonna dick around
Yeah.
here in this town an extra
No.
day instead
Yeah.
of rushing home to your kid. That's when you start failing as a dad.
That's right.
Like it's as long as you get done, and hell, all of us got to sleep over some night somewhere. Like, but you get up that next morning and you still want to get home. As long as you have that want to, you want to rush back. They're gonna know that when they see you. They're gonna know it by the phone calls. They're gonna know it by the text messages. When you start not doing that,
Right.
that's when you need to take a look in the mirror because that's your kid's gonna recognize it before you do.
Yeah, that was.
yeah, that makes sense.
I'm
that
not
was
a
me,
dad,
man.
but
I was.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was me right before I went to rehab. I didn't want to go home, just mainly
Yeah.
because I was ashamed of myself mainly, but
Yeah.
also I just didn't. I felt like, man, when I went through my divorce first time, I realized that I was like trying not to get attached to my kids because they were away from me, you know. And then when they come over, I was like just kind of like finding myself going, if they'd be better off without me, you know. So it's like, man, there's some dark places and some places you can go that I've been. But I tell you this, you know, now when I look forward to going home, I look forward to going home as the new me. But I'll tell you, for 15 years when I was in the oil field, I felt homesick. I felt like I was being selfish, even though I knew I was doing it for them. But I wrote that in that oilfield dad song. It says, "I miss half the life to give them one I never had." You know, it ain't easy being an oilfield dad.
Yeah.
But I think that's the biggest thing I've had to tell myself, because I spent 15 years giving them mediocre because I was holding back. You know, now I'm giving them a better version of me, and I'm giving them a better life than I could ever give them. You know.
There's also the piece of like I didn't do super well in school. I walked into college. I looked around. I said, "This is they got a great building here." And then I turned around and walked out. And you know, this is the thing I've done since I was 17, and I don't know how to do anything else because you know, if you want to make it in this business, you have to burn the boats and be like this
I
or
don't think
bust.
your kids expect you to, though, or your one that you have. I have 4, and I'm gone all the time too. But as long as you're present when you're home,
Yeah.
like turn everything else off. Have that open communication. Like they
That
see
makes
it.
sense.
They don't expect you to, you know, dote over them their whole lives. They're never gonna have that.
Well, there's-
just be present and be with them when they have you.
Absolutely.
How old are you now?
How old am I? 25.
Okay.
That's a lie.
There's-
I'm
there's one-
26. I was trying to make myself younger for the industry just now,
I
but
can't remember being 26.
And there's another thing too on the other side of that though, that if you've never thought about it as a dad that's in our line of work, because all of us are in here. I think Chili might be the only one that ain't got kids in here.
That we know of.
Yeah, I promise you, there's a little chili monster somewhere out there.
I hope not.
Yeah, if you put it in, you
I
didn't
can't
pull out.
handle
I'll go ahead and
myself.
tell you, I know you
Nonetheless,
that
I'll
good.
handle another.
But on the other side of it, what we don't realize, and my daughter, I see this in her, to where like I didn't have this growing up. You are telling your kids by chasing your dreams and living this lifestyle that it's okay to want more out of life than a 9 to 5 and to be normal. A lot of people called all of us in this room weird growing up. What they fucked up and nobody ever just really thought about it or told us as kids. You know what is almost the same definition as weird is unique. It's almost the same damn thing. We were all unique growing up, but probably got called weird, and we're normalizing that to our children that it is okay to
you.
be unique, to be you. You don't have to be nothing else. You as a parent doing everything the right way. Even when some of our mistakes make them better too. They know what not to do then. But like, you're teaching your kid when you go on the road and you're playing those shows and you're happy, you're showing them how to live a happy life. Not maybe necessarily as a musician, but like they're going to value being happy and doing what they want and chasing their dreams because of you.
Yeah.
That's what my wife was saying. She was like, what you're teaching, what we're hopefully, I mean, she's too young to know now, but at some point, what we hope to teach her is that if you work hard, it's not always going to be pretty, but you can pay your bills doing something you love if you really, really work hard at it.
Yeah.
Well, and it makes it harder because we're not getting that instant gratification of them learning that lesson right now.
Yeah, it's going to be
I
20
mean,
years.
you're playing the
from now.
long game, right? And we may not even get to see them realize that that lesson, man,
Yeah.
of like, man, our dads, our moms, you know, they worked really hard. You know, they were gone, but man, they loved us all the while. You know.
I think just don't put so much pressure on yourself either, though. Like, have that open communication. If something's really important for your kids, let them be able to tell you, this is really important and I need you there, and make it a priority to be there. Like, my son's literally texting me right now. Like, he needs me right now, and that's okay. My kids know that's okay. There's sometimes I'm not available. They know that's okay too.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're not going to have a problem being a good dad.
No, you're gonna be great.
I know
Don't
you
put that
too
much
good.
pressure on yourself.
I know you too good. Like I know
dude,
I'm
you're
a
gonna
piece
be
of
a great
shit.
dad,
Yeah.
Cam.
You're
If you
gonna
care-
be like,
if you care that much now, you're gonna be fine.
you're
You'll be
gonna end
fine.
up writing like a how-to book on how to be a good dad. That's
Also-
how fucking good you're gonna be at
Also,
it.
no matter how many books you read or whatever, like we're all just figuring this stuff out on the
Dude.
fly, man. And when you realize that our parents were too,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, it's giving me more grace for
Yeah,
them.
it's-
I had that where, I don't know about y'all, but like, my mom's a saint. Like,
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of growing up with a really, really amazing mom. And I remember kind of like towards the end of my, like, you know, in my teens, I was like, oh, mom's not perfect. And for me, because I had this like image that no one can live up to, I was like offended, you know, like
Yeah.
how dare you be human?
Yeah.
And then I remember I moved out on my own and was like, oh, at this point in life, my mom would have been single with a kid with a massive heart condition in a state with no help. And then I was like, I just ate cookout for dinner. You know, like at that point, I was like, you know, and then now that I have kids, I'm like, oh, well, you know, my mom's 49 for the first time. You know what I mean? Like every year you're turning a new age, you're figuring that thing out. You're all
100%.
just figuring it out as you go, no matter how. She's figuring out how to have a 26-year-old and an 18-year-old, just like she was trying to figure out how to have a 4-year-old. You know,
day at a
and
time.
now I can look at it and be like, you know, we have pretty much the most amount of help someone could ask for. My in-laws live down the street. We don't live fancy, but our bills are paid, and like my wife and I adore each other. We
Oh,
get
they
to
do.
spend a
It's
lot
so
of
fucking
time, you know, with my daughter, and it's still so hard. And then you start taking away any of those things, and you're like, the fact that anyone can get through it is such a miracle.
Well, I think about it like this. I like to simplify shit to like make me feel better about situations. If I can make something black or white, something simple, it makes me just warm and cozy. I believe in like generational happiness and generational misery. It's what you make it. You look at your great grandparents, then you look at your grandparents, then you look at your mom and your dad, and you look at the quality of life and all the things that maybe your grandpa fucked up, but your dad fixed that problem. Well, if you go by that logic, you are fixing, you know what to fix now from your mom and dad. So the quality of life usually gets better from every generation. So your kid, you already know they're going to have a better life than you because you know what not to do and you know what to do. And then their kids are going to have an even better one. As long as you were a good dad, they're going to be an even better kid. Like
And don't be afraid to be real with your kid. Like, apologize to them. Show them you're
Yeah.
a human. Show them you
Oh,
make
yeah.
mistakes
That's
because they need to
such a
learn
big
from that.
lesson my mom gave me. As a
my
kid,
mom still
was-
has never said she was fucking wrong about a thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Now
know.
you're doing better.
I don't know whose
Generationally
mom
better.
does that because mine doesn't.
I
But, like, as a
apologize
kid,
every
it
day.
was
We're not bringing
very
up
real in our
resentments,
house.
okay?
Oh, I've got
Sorry,
mommy
Mom.
issues, Brooke, but not the good ones.
But yeah, missing right here. Out
Yeah,
April
I was waiting for you
19th.
to pick that up.
No, thank you for letting me come on and talk about
Demons
it.
Don't Sleep too. It's another Cameron Havens.
Yeah, but I don't know when that one's coming out. So
Well, you know, when y'all get We Ride to #1,
there we go.
What is it at? Like, it's in top 20 right now, right?
it's 17, and
Yeah, man.
it's already projecting to 15.
I tried to call you when we went over to, I've got a family where I'm from that's like my second mom and dad. Like, I spent more times, went on more vacations with these people than I did my own family. And we were sitting there fishing on the dock the other day, and We Ride came on. And I didn't say nothing about, like, me and you being buddies, nothing like that. But to hear this guy that's like my other dad sitting there singing every word to We Ride,
That's crazy.
I was sitting there, I was like, oh shit. Like, it was already, because I don't fish. And there's some, like, I've gone fishing like 5 times my whole life. I grew up playing sports and shit, never did it. But my girlfriend likes it, my daughter likes it, so I've been trying to go do it more. And just sitting there, I don't know if y'all have ever like had this moment when you've watched your kid like cast and they're fishing.
Yeah.
It's something about it is beautiful. And I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's beautiful. I was already having that dad moment, and then that came on the radio and he was singing it, and I was like, everything in life is good.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, it's just like if I needed something to remind me I'm on a good path in life,
Yeah, man.
this right here, right now. I'm all about, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I love the little victories. I don't want to be a person that's looking so much at the destination that I forget about the journey. Because to me, like, once you get there, it's over. You got to start over then. Like, why not just appreciate the little wins every day, every couple days, whatever? Because that's what life is about. It's about the journey.
Yeah.
It's not about the destination. And anytime I get like a little bit of something like that, it's like the good Lord's reminding me I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I might not be where I want to be, but I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
You spoke of that while I was in rehab. That's what I saw in rehab was my little boy and all of them fishing. I was like, my dad took them fishing. I was like, man, I'm in here in rehab. My kids are out there fishing.
Well,
That kind of was a realization too. It was like, man, you know, when I get out of here, I need to make this right. That way I'm not back in rehab watching them do stuff without me again.
Think about it like this too, because all of us like we had some rough childhoods, or at least rough things in our childhoods, right? Like, you don't want to be on the other side of that one day. You don't want this to be. I don't want this to be Gracie sitting here, talking about, damn, Dad sucked.
Yeah.
Like you don't, and
You're like, I really hope she doesn't have a successful podcast someday.
Yeah, well, fuck no. But no, like you don't want to be on the other side of it. And if you start fixing those things now, maybe it don't get too far gone. I'm sure that no one ever told my dad there was a different way of life. I'm sure that nobody ever sat down and said, you ain't got to drink that. And then it got to the point to where too far gone, there's no coming back from it. It's been normalized to drink a case of beer every day. He doesn't know no difference.
Yeah.
Now, you know, there's a lot of things in this generation that I fucking hate a lot. One thing I do love is we talk about mental health now more than we ever did before. It's okay for us to let our emotions out. It's okay for men to sit there and not call you a puss because you're crying. Like, to actually sit there and be there for you and be supportive of you. And
Now, if you stump your toe,
no, yeah, you start crying, you stub your toe. Yeah, I'm going to call you a lot more than a puss.
yeah.
Like, it's going to be bad. But we are figuring out as men now that it's okay to do certain things. It's not okay to do others. And there's a lot of unhealthy things that have been normalized. I think our generation's figuring it out. Just the fact that you with your sobriety, us as dads, know we're not going to pass this shit on. That we're going to fix this shit before it gets too far gone. It's something special about it. And like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everybody in this room. Everybody in here is a good dad. And a good
Thanks,
mom.
Josh. Appreciate you.
My bad, bitch.
damn. Easy there, Killer.
My bad. Everybody here is a good parent. Is that okay?
I'll take whatever
Okay,
from you.
thanks.
I'll be a good dad if you
Did
want me
y'all
to.
have this though when I know I'm supposed to talk
Yeah.
about my song and we're just talking about my parents, but I said the song enough times. I
Yeah,
think that
you're good.
they'll either listen to it or they won't. But
Listen right here.
yeah,
Say it one more time.
April 19th.
There you
Yeah.
go.
April 19th.
Follow me on MySpace. No,
Jesus Christ.
Hit him on
Cousins
Your
Tinder.
only.
songwriting, leave the jokes to us, bud.
Cousins only.
Hit him on
He became
cousin
a
only.
father and his jokes just tanked. Bro.
oh yeah,
It happens.
Dad
It
jokes.
Oh, it
happens.
does. It's a
happens
thing.
real
It's
fast.
bad.
Dad jokes, it's just, it comes out of
100%.
nowhere.
Did y'all find that it was like an immediate magnifying glass to everything
Yeah,
you didn't
it
like
is.
about
Yeah.
yourself? Of
course.
Like
100%.
my wife showed me the pregnancy test, and I was like, "Oh, we got 9 months
Yes.
to really
The-
figure this shit
No,
out."
you're
Like,
never gonna figure it
no,
out.
you don't. But like, I
Never.
remember thinking, and I don't really have much more figured out than I did, a year and a half ago.
I
But
remember
You
my
never
first
have it figured
Same
out,
here.
bud.
but you kind of
Welcome.
like I had that moment where I was like, "All right, 9 months, and then you got to be a perfect human being."
Yeah, the scariest
luck
I've
with that.
ever been. Yeah. The scariest I've ever been in my life was when that nurse tells you it's time to go home with
Dude.
your youngin'. I drove 30 miles an hour.
Same.
Like, I've never been more scared in my life. And when that happened, I knew right then, like, this life's different. Like, it's automatic. It's a fucking light switch that when you leave the hospital with that baby,
Yeah.
man, shit, dude,
crazy.
it's scary.
You know what to do. Set that
Your
baby
heart
down, and you're
grows.
like,
Yeah.
It got me when I realized everybody jokes and is like, "Yeah, they just let you leave."
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Yeah,
"No,
it's true.
they make you leave.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
They
stay.
kick you the
Good
fuck
luck.
out.
Yeah.
Is what they do.
Yeah.
But it,
I remember that car seat, that loose seat belt, that car seat going. I was going.
made it though, didn't
That's
you?
a-
My
Made
little girl,
it.
she still loves going fast to this day. She thinks she's on a motorcycle, man.
Yeah.
man, I'm proud.
I can
of
just
all
see
of y'all.
Josh Terry with his window rolled down going, go around me.
I probably fucking did.
Go around.
I
got
was
a baby.
Scared.
Yeah. Baby on board.
Feels like when you're in a standard, like a stick shift on a hill for
Yeah.
the first time.
Oh,
and you're
shit.
like,
He's wearing his
people
high school
pass.
football helmet, too.
God
you know?
damn. I'm telling you, I was 24 years old when Gracie was
Man.
born.
Baby wrapped in
Same.
bubbles.
So
And-
that's saying, yeah.
I think I've done more growing in the past 12 years than I did in 24 years before that. I like to say all the time, because I've been in jail. I've done a lot of stupid shit when I was young. Like from 18 to 21, I was not a good person. And the day that Gracie was born, I always like to say that Gracie did in one day what the state of Georgia could never do. It made a man out of me. Like it was right there. Like it was there
It's
was
a song.
well, we'll right the fuck out of it.
right.
What?
I think I need to have a kid now.
Or you,
You
could
know,
adopt.
Chili, I
hey,
tell most people they ought to, but I think you need a little bit more time, bud.
maybe you could just adopt that cat that Brian was
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
Got a
see,
hernia.
and it's funny you say that. I was actually adopted at birth.
Needs to be
Prolapse
fixed.
fast though.
You were adopted?
Yeah, at
didn't
birth.
know that.
Yeah, I was adopted. I still don't know my birth father. I know my birth mom, but see, my adopted parents, my adopted mom passed away when I was 17. So I had to grow up quick because dad was drinking.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out shit for myself. I'm still trying to figure it out, obviously.
But what, you're
So-
24?
24.
You got plenty
Yeah.
of
Oh,
time
you
to
got
figure it
time.
out, baby.
So,
Man, I thought she was
You got
45. She.
man, it's crazy because
Living hard will age you quick, won't it? Chili?
I'm telling you, boy.
Hey, I'm the same way. People think I'm in my 40s all the fucking time, dude.
it's just the lifestyle is crazy because music's all I've ever done. I mean, I've done a lot of other shit too, but music's just what I do. That's what I'm good at.
Damn good at it.
Oh, you got a gift, baby. I don't care what anybody says. You have a gift.
You do it NA Heineken on that next neck bottle. I'll throw
got
you one
to.
up.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't drink my sorrows away. I just like to drink. I like to have a good time with buddies, but it got to
Sorrow
the point,
drink with us. Man.
Yeah, exactly. It got to the point where I was. You can ask Connor, like I was in a bad spot.
I heard it too.
I'm just. But I'm proud of myself. I'm trying to fix things. I mean, I still like to have fun, but I'm not doing it every damn day like I was.
Well, just know, like, and Brian's a good example, and there's a lot of other great examples about it. Like, you
that
don't
still don't
have
sound
to.
right.
No, you don't have to do it. Like you don't. if you want to drink because you want to drink, not because you think everybody wants you to drink. If I don't want to do something anymore, I'm not going to do it. And you have that capability.
I
Like,
feel like I'm a prime example.
yeah. Yeah, you don't hardly drink at all, do you?
I've never drank.
He's never
Yeah,
had it
I didn't think so.
across his lips.
No.
I didn't have any until I was 36, and I started drinking just socially, and it makes me feel like shit. Like it's just, I like waking up the next day and being like, all right, I'm fine. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why people do it.
I've screwed myself this week because from the last time I was here, we left on, I guess, March the 15th. I didn't drink anything from March the 15th until Sunday night. And I had to host that event in Alabama Saturday. I had a couple beers in. But I forgot over the past couple of weeks. I was like, damn, I feel good every morning. Like, you feel great.
Feels awesome.
And then I woke up with a hangover yesterday or today, and I was like, why the fuck am I drinking? Like,
That's the last time I
What
saw
the
you
fuck?
wake up. We had the same conversation.
yeah, it's like, shit.
hurts.
Yeah.
My mom was.
We wrote a good song.
So bad.
Yeah,
You got cut.
yeah.
Josh Terry's first cut.
Yeah, I got one for you, too.
Oh,
Yeah, I got another one. But, yeah, I guess that with Chili or anybody listening, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Like, it doesn't matter. And what you think that people love you for is not what they love you for. They love you for you. They don't love you because of the shit you're doing. Like, they love you for you. I don't invite you to come hang out with us because Chili's going to get drunk and have a good time with me. Chili's going to have a good time with me whether he's drunk or sober. Like,
Did you make him do the beer thing last night?
I didn't make him do it.
He tried. He
I didn't
goes.
make
He did,
him.
didn't
He
he?
goes. You know what to do.
You know what to do.
Sets it on stage.
You know
and I'm
what
like,
to
I can't do it on bass.
First off, I didn't make your ass get on stage. And by that point, we'd already drank enough. It didn't fucking
That's
matter if
true.
you drank
He
one
goes.
more.
You know what to do, baby.
You know what to do, baby.
Hey, I was trying to make you entertain these motherfuckers.
Hey,
But
He
anyway,
made some tips, so didn't he?
he only played one song, and then we left.
2.
I had to make y'all stay.
Yeah, remember y'all were back in.
Back yet from the back.
Oh yeah, I was ready to go. There wasn't anybody there to hang out with. Like, we were with a couple, but it don't matter.
Where we going tonight?
You want to go with us?
Where we going?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're definitely going out.
Yeah, one of my buddies that I grew up playing baseball and everything with is in town.
Oh, shit.
He's like a coach or some shit now. And he messaged me a while ago. Probably going to meet up with them for a little bit. Let's
go.
Red
Well,
Door?
you should
Let's
definitely.
go.
I have not been to Red Door on this trip yet. And I said for some reason
Don't start.
that I was not going to go to Red Door on this trip.
Why?
Not unless, well, it's just,
I want to be sober and see what happens at Red Door.
yeah, I've never been sober and been in Red Door. And I'm not saying I'm not going to go. But like, there's something about when I end up there. It's not that it's a bad night. Or it's so
just never a
weird.
good night?
It's just like, damn, why didn't I do something else? Like,
Yeah.
why didn't I do something productive? Why didn't like,
Because you never know when John Fogerty's going to be sitting at the bar.
I'm not knocking the place. I love the place, but it's just when I'm here to work, that's another thing I've had to get through my head so much lately. I'm here to work. I'm coming to Nashville to record podcasts, to record content, to network. If I'm at Red Door, I'm probably just shit-faced. I don't need to do it.
Also, no one at Red Door is going to remember the conversation.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's
They're going to give
exactly-
you their phone number and then be on a podcast talking about your cat and how you had a ponytail.
Yes.
That's
Hey.
exactly right.
Yeah.
It's 100%.
Thank you.
It's just
Root
not
beer shots.
productive. It's like I'm pretty sure like I'll go after the show tomorrow night, after the Live Oak show. But I don't need to go there every single night. It should not be my mentality that for me to be successful and to me to network, to end up at Red Door closing it down every night, if that makes sense.
I'm
drink
glad
NA
y'all
come
asked
drink
what
NA
we're,
with me.
I'm glad y'all asked what we're doing because I just looked at my phone and I have a dinner at 7.
Oh yeah,
and
we're
it's
done.
11 minutes.
Yeah,
I gotta roll.
we're finna be done anyway. So real quick before we get off
Ben's
here,
got a song coming out called Scar City, guys.
coming out
Why
this
didn't you drop that?
Friday. I don't know, man.
see, just like the rest of us, you
11
brag
minutes.
on everybody else, but it's hard as fuck to do it to yourself.
That's right, man.
Ben is amazing.
Ben's
Everyone
amazing.
should go stream it. Go listen to what he has out now. go
Will
see him
Will
live.
Ben Roberts
No,
Absolutely.
on Instagram, yeah.
on Instagram.
Spotify, Ben Roberts.
Ben Roberts. On
You might have
Spotify.
seen him on his TikTok fame.
Yeah,
the man with the
United
broken
Airlines
guitar.
trashed my guitar.
Yeah. I got
Brian and
so
I
shitty.
opened the guitar case up, and Brian goes, "Hey, bud,
Yeah.
there's a whole, we got a problem here, dude."
You got
See
3
this?
guitars in that
Yeah,
guitar
they fucked
case.
his
right?
guitar up.
Yeah.
Brian said,
Airline
"Yeah,
did or what?
Yeah.
yeah," and then posted it to TikTok. A little public tar and feathering. They're gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
And then Brian Martin, of course, gave me a
1970.
1970 Martin D28
Hell yeah,
that we
B.
know
There
belonged
you
to
go.
Hank Williams Jr.
Oh my God, that's
dude.
amazing.
Hey,
I'm
you got another
producing
one of those
Sam
laying
Williams,
around?
so that's a little synchronous.
I don't have any more laying around. I've checked my wall hanger 3 times.
I was waiting to see. I was waiting to see how long it was going to take.
I feel
Chili.
so bad, man.
I
He
was
broke-
waiting to hear what Chili like. He'd be like, "Oh, my shit's got a hole in it." Just seeing what
Yeah.
you throw at
Hey,
him
this
real
pickup
fast.
don't work.
Dude, hey, you know what's crazy? The night I gave him that guitar, I just got this new Gibson.
Yeah.
The night I gave him that guitar, I've been known to break a few guitars as well as write a few songs. So like, when
Just quoted himself.
yeah. So I hit
This
the back.
is why
of
we're friends, right here.
I hit the back of my guitar, and I literally cracked my guitar exactly the same way his was, and I gave it to the people that was
The
putting on the
LG?
event. I was like, I just paid like $4,000 for that thing. I was like, here you go. I signed it for him and gave it to him to raise money for the next event. And then I went home, and then that's the day that when we came home from Tampa, that I got put in rehab. And so while I was in rehab, I had to order another guitar while I was in rehab to get delivered.
I'm
and
pretty
it
sure
got
that
broke.
one's gone too.
No. It's just
Okay.
it's got a crack in it, but.
It
I
still
put-
works.
From
You
now
can still
on,
have it.
I've learned it. Instead of just replacing a cracked guitar with a $5,000 guitar, I just get some wood glue. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's probably
That's a
the
good
fucking
idea.
move, B.
Hey, I still remember my first whiskey jam with Dustin Herring, and he
That fucking moron, man. That dude. He beat the shit out that.
yeah.
He was so jacked up for his first whiskey jam.
he had me on fiddle out of all things.
Yeah, he was so jacked up.
You
that
play
bitch
fiddle,
went,
bud? I'll
Have
take you on the road right now. Shit, what are you
He
doing?
can play fiddle with his fingers. I've never seen it. I've never seen anybody do it.
Hey,
before.
Chili Dog done got himself in a job.
Hey, then fiddle's in the car.
Will Mosley's trying to hire his ass before too long.
No.
You better jump on him first.
I-
You tell Big Mo you tell Big Mo he's got to make it through the first year.
Hey, I'm tired
aftercare.
of not being on the road.
Anyway, Ben's gonna be late for something. We can't let him do that. So real quick, everybody drop their socials again real fast. And let's get the hell out of here.
All right.
Start with you, Cameron.
Cameron Havens _ on Instagram, and then just at Cameron Havens on everything else.
Yeah, it's Brian Martin. But when you got a number 17 song, you gotta fucking say your socials.
That's Brian Martin with a Y.
Excuse us, sir. Fuck you, Chili Dog.
The official Chili Dog on TikTok, DAWG, not DOG. But then that's basically all my socials.
Yeah. David McMahon, who didn't say 2 fucking words the whole show.
No, I enjoyed listening. It was great.
DM David.
You're really
listener.
good at that.
Good
You're really good
listener.
at just sitting there.
DM
and
David.
Just taking it
I just
in.
feel in a
Videos
spot,
of Josh all night. That's what he's good at.
Yeah.
Yeah, David McMahon Music, Instagram, TikTok, McMahon Music.
You,
I'm Ben Roberts on Spotify and Will Ben Roberts on Instagram and TikTok.
And You Found Missy everywhere. You Found Missy.
You
and
found this.
y'all know mine because you're listening to the show.
We got,
but anyway,
what's our man's name? What's his name?
his shit
He's
is
a white,
called the
he's
White,
a white
Steve
Harvey on TikTok.
His stuff's called the White Steve Harvey.
He's somebody though. He got big numbers. And
Hey
stuff.
man, that man's
White
got a
Steve.
mustache that would.
He's got that Alan Jackson shit
The
going
man's
on.
got
don't
an
he?
Alan Jackson hair
Yes,
And
sir.
Jeff
Harvey
Foxworthy.
mustache.
Yeah.
You know that's a genetic.
That's a good combo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Are you black from the waist down?
Call him Steve Jackson. from
born
now
to be
on.
a star.
Anyway, thank y'all for listening. Hey, look, I encourage each and every one of y'all, if you think you're struggling with some type of addiction, please don't think that it makes you less of a man, less of a woman to ask for help. Everybody in this room at one point in time has needed it, and you're not weak. That's all I want to tell you. You're not weak. You're a human being. If you need a hand, don't be scared to ask for it. I love each and every one of y'all. We will see you later.